Welcome back to Gollum. Okay, it's at the time of this recording. Now I've actually properly recorded the entire game, and no, it doesn't get any better, Jova. There you go.
Thank you for your services, Pedro.
Yes. In fact, I will argue the climax is probably the worst part of the game, and that's saying something.
That was almost the Family Guy. That was almost the Family. That was almost the Family Guy death pose he did there.
I'm not gonna spoil how, but the final climatic, I guess, set piece, because there's no final boss. At first it makes it seem like you're gonna have a final boss, but no, actually no. But not that there's any other bosses in this game anyway, of course, but the final set piece of sorts, if you can call it that, like it's basically everything that's wrong about the game combined into one. It's just like, wow.
All right, so I assume we're close to the end, right?
Yes, the playthrough is 27 parts in total.
Oh, okay, so we got 7 parts left. I assume that by the end, this Gwen deal will come into play, since they seem to be emphasizing a lot about... Jesus, Alex. They seem to be emphasizing something between him and Mell.
Yes, Gwen, that's the thing, Joe, but don't worry, it won't pay off, because Gwendolyn only shows up in like the last hour of this game, and he doesn't really do anything. In fact, the one time where he does, I'm sure Theo knows what I'm talking about, the one time he tries to do something in this plot, let's just say he doesn't succeed.
Oh god, don't tell me Gollum of all people was to bail him out or he dies anticlimactic.
Again, Joe, we're close to the end, just wait and see.
So we're escaping.
Oh no, he saw me!
Because...
Whatever, shall I do?
Is he trying to get you?
I think so.
Sir, you can always try and pull me out from under, right? Are you literally just waiting out like a concerned or disappointed parent tapping their foot, waiting for us
alien
to come
isolation, this is not...
Nope.
So, wait, is this just a game of chicken now?
So, a game. Tell me something. How do the NPCs work? Because in some sections, as I've demonstrated already in this playthrough, sometimes they just... when they can't get me, they just, go away. This one doesn't. So which is a game? How do your NPCs work?
I think it was a case where you, not necessarily glitch, but you weren't supposed to actually get under that surface, and as such the game did not count it as you being invisible.
The problem, though, is that the NPCs still knew we were there since he stayed the entire time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. As such, the enemy, the other NPC actually registered you as still visible, and as such did not lower the visibility guard.
Mm-hmm.
That's the weird thing, though. He wasn't even in like an attack stance. He was just standing there. Like I feel like.
Okay, it's more the thing where cannot reach under it, but because you're not in the invisible state, it's not even a case where the stealth actually gauge lowers. It's more of a literal stalemate.
Yeah, but that just begs the question: why? In fact, come to think of it, I'm pretty sure that before NPCs have been able to reach under tables and get us. So
again,
why not this time?
Because probably that surface was not intended for you to actually get under, and it was probably a glitch.
Mm-hmm.
So bad programming.
Yes.
Which, okay. The thing is, though, in universe, that just makes it look like the guards are so inept that they don't know how to bend down and reach underneath there.
Alright.
Also, I love how they pretty much gave every elf a helmet, which automatically means you can't choke them, even though that doesn't make sense in universe, since the mere presence of a helmet itself shouldn't, render them unchokeable. They need, a neck guard.
Who do they think they are, Magneto? Oh, if I wear a helmet, I'll be protected from everything.
Well, in this elf's case, he has a shit ton of arrows on his back, so Gollum wouldn't be able to sneak past behind that elf and strangle it from the back. So in that case, it actually makes sense, actually.
That is fair, but man, it's really telling that I think the last time we were able to use the choke maneuver was probably before the halfway point of the game. Since
that's the thing, Jova.
The enemies have really allowed for that.
That's the thing, Jova. There's very little times where it actually becomes useful, really.
I guess that just adds to an issue, though. The game does not really boast versatility or variety in how you can get stuff done. Which, yeah, we pointed out, the game pretty much wants you to do things its way or the highway, but damn, it's all the more apparent.
Okay, moving on.
I guess I'll admit the second half feels even less of a conflict. Like, yes, I get it. Gollum wants to be free, except I don't know. It feels a bit more contrived that, you know, the elves are this needlessly dickish to him. Like, honestly, I get the feeling if the elves were at least nice to him, he wouldn't be trying to escape.
Okay,
And this second half
and
of
the level just randomly ends.
weird place to end it, but okay.
And now we're here.
We continue.
Well, if it means it's shorter, then
I love how that's pretty much what we've been.
Dweb's like, I'm not even kidding you. As I was recording the final part today, I was literally going, end game. Please just end.
That reminds me.
And then when the trophy for finishing the game popped up, I'm like, oh, thank fuck. Ugh.
That reminds me. You mentioned that there apparently are multiple endings. Which one did you end up going for?
Well, that would
bad one.
well, that would be spoiling now, wouldn't it, Jova? You'll see for yourself.
It's mostly the game has been teetering, always been leaning towards Meagle or Gollum, so you already know the answer.
Yeah.
Basically, okay, I haven't actually checked, but based on what you see in the climax of the game, it does seem like there's some major decisions at the end, specifically of a character that you can, a specific character that you can kill if you convince. There's also something involving helping a certain character, and it's like the biggest, hardest mental struggle between Gollum and Smeagol, where you have to genuinely try to convince Gollum, and you won't be able to convince Gollum to take the high road if you haven't been doing good decisions over the course of the game. So it seems like, okay, I haven't actually checked, but it does seem like the stuff you've done throughout the game can impact your ending in some kind of way. That being said, I could not give a rat's ass, so I didn't bother checking.
I'm sure it was him.
Unless a squirrel called himself my precious.
I seriously doubt it's all that significant, to be honest.
You think? Did I see him?
I'm guessing that given how the game is
They
operating,
did the same joke as Todd did in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
yeah.
Alright, so now Mel will be our primary partner character pretty much up until the end of the game. She technically won't be in Chapter 10 and to most of 9, but technically she's basically the friend character for the designated friend character for Gollum in this game, basically.
And I guess she has a good reason to be an escorted character, given the fact that, well, she's blind.
Yeah, Mel is pretty much the only character in this game that has any kind of agency and some kind of a personality, really. Aside from Gollum, of course, and Smeagol.
And it only took us 70% of the game to finally meet her. But okay, apparently the way she gets around is by the moths whispering the way to her.
Go on, too.
No, I was just basically saying what you already said, ended up saying anyway.
So, as far as escort characters go, how is Mel?
Well, again, we escort her, and by escort her we mean we lead her to places. She helps us with her, as you're going to see later in this part, water powers, because she's a waterbender, apparently. And
she's tough mixed with Qatar.
It's more so that she can control water, and whenever she's touching water, she can speak to us verbally, like we've seen before, as long as we're near a body of water. That's the basic gist of it. There's also she also has some good knowledge about how we can do some stuff moving forward from here. Her primary goal in this plot is to try to find Gwendol, because Gwendol is somewhere around, and we don't.
She has a good reason to not trust the Thranduil, because he deliberately locked her in jail, and and the rest of the cohort was not particularly kind to her.
And the fact that they made Gwendol's gravestone before he's even dead is probably telling that something's up.
Dear Lord. I'm at the very least thankful that I'm done recording this. I'm actually looking more forward to recording for Reference Reference Court, because at least that game is going to be easy to record, at least. Jeez.
Well, yeah, the thing. Okay. The thing is, with commentaries like this, or Mighty Number 9, or Balan Wonderworld, looking back at those commentaries can be fun. But recording the material for these sorts of broken-ass games can be incredibly painful.
It's because this game is very terribly designed, and it's not like look at. Let me compare this to something like Sonic 06, for example. Sonic 06 is a broken game and all that stuff, and yeah. The difference is, by the time I got around to recording it, I was already super familiar with the game, so I knew exactly how to record it, how to play it in a way that's less painful than if someone was playing it for the first time. Not with this game. It's like I said at the beginning of this playthrough. I decided to do this blind recording, which was a mistake.
On the plus side, it did yield us quite potentially the most entertaining recording, but I can imagine that actually recording it was an ordeal.
Oh boy, waterfalls.
And invisible walls.
No, it's more so that the game wants me to wait for Mel, basically.
He still remembers me. That's... Go ahead. To the waterfall. I'll be right behind you.
Okay then.
No path there. Can't go up the water now, can we?
Not up. No.
Oh?
Well, let's see. You know, at the very least, with all of these shenanigans, Gollum is actually getting cleaned throughout this game.
Hallelujah! He finally gets washed.
I don't know how much of a consolation prize that is, but yeah, sure. There you go,
The
Mel.
water vanished.
There you go, Mel is Moses.
Hold your breath. The river can be fickle. But for now, he's willing to let us pass.
Okay, lead Mel to the secret exit.
Mel touches the water and the water goes away. Good. It didn't tumble. The elf with pale eyes. How does it move so well? He wonders.
The stones guide me. The wind, the water, the moss. Love moss.
Oh, never mind, Joe was right, she is like tough as well.
Yeah.
Like old memories.
Maybe somebody was a fan of Avatar The Last Airbender.
I haven't checked.
Mel, you coming?
Yeah, I haven't checked her model. I wonder if she's also walking bare feet.
Yeah, she is walking bare feet, yes.
Yeah, someone probably was a fan on.
What? Did you notice? Did you notice?
I get the feeling she was supposed to be there at that point, but
Yeah.
games.
The lighting completely changed.
Not just that.
Hey, Jova,
My friend.
Yes.
we're out again.
Yes.
Well, I guess this one wasn't, as draining as the first prison. Oh, she sees him as a
Follow
friend.
the sun.
How nice. No, it's more so too that her character model apparently got stuck back there, but then when I pressed the triangle to open the door, magically she's now right here next to me,
I
have
also
the
typically
feeling-
is a pre-render cutscene rather than an in-engine stuff, so it's not like their model teleported.
Granted, I get the feeling
But-
that the model was supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure-
by that point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Girl up.
the intention too is that she would follow you all the way to the door. It's just
Oh
that
God.
Yeah, if you forgot, the bird was the one that Gollum hatched while in service of the Candleman.
Let me guess, it still is serving the Candleman, who I guess wants it to keep an eye on Gollum.
Yes, basically.
The bird betrayed us.
Remember the words of Gandalf in Fellowship of the Ring. He pondered if Gollum had managed to escape, or he was intentionally let go.
Torture barely made him talk, and the elves have no heart for torture.
Thy confidence could be mistimed, dear friend. The old greybeard has entered the woodland realm no more than 2 weeks ago.
The wizard. How do you know?
I know because I must
They may
know.
call us
It is my
the
purpose.
But we do have eyes and ears. The grey beggar might suspect something. Join Marhok's men in Dol Guldur. Free the creature.
So we're actually
bring it back.
building up to a climax in this
Yeah,
game
the
with
Candleman
Gollum.
is
of all
actually about to
people.
leave Mordor in pursuit of Gollum.
Dies. We'll strike in Gondor as well.
Okay, see now, if they had done a better job establishing the Candleman and I assume his daughter will play a part as, like, better for us without us just wasting time doing dumb prison chores. This would resonate a lot more with me. At this point, I'm just like, took you long enough.
And yeah, the daughter also is coming too.
I wish for thee.
Well, given that neither of you guys are so much...
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's true. Now I can tell you...
I'm sure you'll be just fine.
I can tell you something without spoiling anything, Joey. If you think the Kennelman's daughter, aka the cruel woman as they call her, if you think she's gonna do anything in the rest of the game, well, I need to disappoint you, but she has exactly nothing more to do. She's gonna show up once towards the end, but she just stands there in the background and does nothing.
Wait, she doesn't even die? Like, I assumed that at least they were going to die because they're not in the original trilogy.
Well, my guess is the idea is that they stay in their corner and they never leave their house during the original trilogy. There you go.
Oh well.
Alright, so now we're in Mirkwood, so let's explore, I guess.
Yes, we are.
Friend, yes we are.
Wow, so he actually considers her a friend. Again, it's a bit redundant knowing what happens in Twin Towers, but
Well, remember, it's
Two towers.
Two Towers.
well, remember, I'm pretty sure we're meant to assume that he's using her and just saying what he needs to say to keep her.
The Gollum persona, yes, but Smeagol, as showcased also in Two Towers, is inclined potentially to start trusting someone if they extend their hand for a prolonged period of time.
Yeah, and since it's Smeagol talking, I'm more inclined to believe that he does legit resonate the feelings of friendship.
Poor elf. No shining eyes. Take Smeagol's hand.
In this case, it's Gollum talking so clearly. Oh, no, not wrong ring, Gollum. Wrong ring. That's not the one.
Bad habits.
Are you looking at my ring?
Is it nice? Yes?
Wow, you're cheating on Precious with another ring, Gollum. For shame.
Alright. Let's move on.
Again, though, like, I'll give the game this interaction between these two is more interesting than any other interaction Gollum has had with other ones. Like, okay.
It's because this is by far the one character that Gollum spends the most time with in the entire game. So it's the one that it's the one case where the game can actually properly build a relationship between these two.
You know, the frustrating thing is that the game tries to treat Grashnig like, oh, it's a big deal, especially when it comes to the ultimate choice of whether or not you want to sacrifice him. But Grashnig did not cut it. Like, at best, he was a lackey, which really leads me to wonder what Smeagol suddenly sees that makes him a friend. Now, don't get me wrong, I'd probably go with the Smeagol choice too, not to betray him, but the game kind of undermines that by having him get eaten by Shelob either way.
Go climb a tree.
Whereas Mell, okay, Mell has actually had way more agency than any of the other companions, despite showing up 70% of the way into the game.
What's the elf wanted for?
On the one hand, good writing for her. On the other hand, God does that expose just how shallowly written the other companions were.
That's the thing, and when it comes to getting back to the bird betraying us, like Jova said, like, at the end, don't worry, this doesn't really matter, it's not a spoiler. Like, at the end, we actually meet the bird again, and we actually get a choice to either kill the bird or let it live. I was very tempted to kill it, but again, I'm committed to my Smeagol route, so I had to let it live. But I was genuinely really tempted to kill the bird for betraying me, to be honest with you.
That was one of the few friends Gollum had, and it betrayed him.
Not to it's even weird when you think about it, because remember, like, Gollum was the first creature this bird saw, so you'd think the bird would be faithful to Gollum above all else, but I guess not.
Did they reveal that, like, the Candleman was training the bird in secret to truly
Not
respect
really.
him?
I mean, yeah, the bird does go back to the Candleman, but we never see the Candleman treating the bird particularly great or doing anything really with the bird, really. Like,
it's more because the bird being hatched via magical stuff, done by the Candleman. Yes, it imprinted on Gollum, but ultimately, was in service of him.
I
I
guess.
think the problem is that the game doesn't make that apparent, especially when they pretty much build up the big deal about how Gollum's the one who makes the true relationship with the bird. I guess, on the one hand, if the game is implying that getting Gollum, trained up with the bird was actually part of the Candleman's scheme to eventually let Gollum escape and do something, I assume.
No,
he
because
hopes Gollum
again,
will
he
lead him
wasn't
to the ring.
expecting the Malphasor to command him to go search him. No, like I said, the bird is supposed to represent essentially a broad stroke of Gollum's story and characterization. The idea of a creature formed under potential major circumstances, but that has to decide for themselves, and ultimately a representation of the freedom over violence. But again,
Well, the game flickered there, but whatever.
It does that a bit, doesn't it?
Occasionally.
I love how Gollum did his
Her
idol
her
animation.
fingers are literally clipping through the thing. I just.
Then their spell is gone.
Good lord.
doesn't even look like a lichen, more like a mushroom.
So the real question is,
That's the best Lycan model we could afford.
It's a trick, my precious.
how could it be a trick? I am giving you a choice.
Okay, once again, Smeagol route. I'm committed to it, so let's do that. Now let's convince Gollum.
Don't want strange let hero. Think. The elf could ask us anything. Anything.
Cautious because she would suspect us, I guess. Let me see.
Well, Gollum would be inclined to, again, Gollum would be more inclined to believe this, yeah.
If Heats the now knows too, she'll know all our thoughts and plans. Oh? And what if it asks how Smeagol wants to break her little neck? Mel trusts us. She wouldn't ask that.
Are you ready?
Alright then.
That was easy.
Very
Alright, let's do it.
inconvenience,
Eating it. Good choice. Come on, I want to listen to them.
Why is that subtitle on the top part of the screen?
Okay,
That's
yeah,
a
that was
good
weird.
question.
No bridge here.
I know these waters. Let me calm them down a little.
Can you make them vanish or part them? Let's see.
Go
Close
ahead,
enough.
She's willing to let us cross.
Mel calms angry rivers.
Yes, we just saw her do that, Smeagol. Thank you for pointing that out.
Oh, one more thing. Timing detail.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're in the haze.
What did it say, my precious?
Dude,
Why is it,
it's just like the end of Ultima Underworld.
trippy?
I mean, it is called the Haze, so, yeah.
That said, I can just imagine this being a pain for people with visual issues.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this is so
Is the
deep.
game? Is the game tripping?
Yep.
Yes.
Again, it's called the Haze, it's probably intending to do that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Specifically considering the typical invader would be an orc, so this kind of thing would be perfect to confuse them.
Alright,
I guess
let's.
the idea is that with Mel to guide us, we can make it through the haze just
Yeah,
fine.
basically.
And there we go.
Being as tall as she is, I wonder if Mel ever has that issue of running into bars since she's blind.
My head's nasty.
Are there even bars in Middle Earth? I'm pretty
I
sure.
wouldn't need truthlings to know.
Well, no, like, as in metal bars, not like
Oh, okay.
alcoholic bars.
Smeagol doesn't hiss.
Okay.
Smeagol's not a cat.
To be fair, his voice actor voiced
How precious.
a hero pawn, so why not?
Yes, that is where we need to go. It's not like there's only one path that leads to it.
Not just that, we even have flowers leaving a trail that basically tell, "Go here, you stupid fuck."
I guess we can interact with
That's the thing,
those,
Joe. Just the thing, Joe. But trust me, I wish the game was always this handholdy, because when the game tries to make you genuinely look for something, it's bad. This will make going for the game less painful. Jesus.
It's weird to have the game be this handholdy this late into the game, though. It's like, game, given all the more complex operatives we've done, I'm pretty sure we know how to follow a simple path. Let alone the fact that, again, they even show you where you need to go like you're an idiot.
Alright, moving on.
Enter the bell tower.
Alright, but first, let's see what we have in here.
We can spend the night here.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Oh,
There is a...
Those.
okay. Surely there must be something else to interact with.
At the very
Or
least,
is that really it?
at the very least, I guess Gollum has a better, preservation instinct when the protagonist of Into the Wild.
Damn.
There we go. Pity you can't hear the bells high up in the tower. Can you see the moon?
Don't fear. The white face will not find her.
But I'd wish to be found. What's her shape now?
Mel must be hungry. Perhaps good Smeagol find some eggs.
Is it
Wow.
rising? It can't be full yet.
No. No nice moon. Smeagol goes and finds tasty things for Mel.
Don't stay too long.
Oh, Smeagol, how very chivalrous of you.
Also because he wanted to, change the subject a bit. Which is weird. I don't remember us, Gollum having been potentially afraid of the moon.
Weird. Alright, there's an emote pack. Dare I ask, what are the emotes you can get from the DLC? I assume it's DLC that gets
I don't
the
know,
emote pack.
don't care. I already spent way more money in this thing than I should have, so...
I have never really liked the idea of charging for emotes of all things. Like, I get it, technically cosmetics, but come on. Really? Emotes? The very basic function of a character showing off this or that expression? That just feels nickel and diming. Oh, hey, the Nazgul. Haven't seen these guys since the start of the game.
Anyway, Sauron has never heard of the Shire, as it did not exist yet when he had been alive. None of his servants knew about it earlier. The Shire, the part of the former King of Arnor, was given to the Halflings as a place to settle. Their country was tiny and meaningless and thus not well known. Set in the wrong direction, the Nazgul searched the river in vain, and Sauron lost precious time. You wasted so much of my time.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, next. The Hunt for the Ring. Oh, never mind, I already read this.
That's what you already did.
The Elven Realm. Never mind. See, the thing about this stupid... okay, when Sauron's shadow grew again in the south of Mirkwood, the Wood Elves drew from their settlements and moved north. The Elves still hunt, feast, and live in the woods close to the underground palace of their king Thranduil, right? Thranduil.
Yeah.
However, times are getting darker. Many Elves now prefer to stay in the caves, making forays into the woods not constantly scarcely unarmed, guarding the border closely and staying on high alert. See, the thing about this stupid lore compendium that every time I quit an entry, the cursor goes back to the top entry. So it's easy for me to lose track of which entry
it's also not helpful that the entry name on the main on the main index does not correspond to what it actually describes.
Sometimes it does, but not a lot, like Theo just said. Yeah. Anyway, the point is Bilbo did something. Howls of the Elven King. In the north of Mirkwood, the Wood-Elves built a strong fortress in the like of Doriath, their fortress of old, to protect their people in times of danger and war. Such times had arrived when the shadow grew again, and Sauron's forces frequently appeared close to the woodland realm. So after his lonely time in the Misty Mountains, the Smeagol part of Gollum longs for company and friendship. Though he's terrified by piercing bright eyes of the elves, Mell and the blind elf appears less dangerous in Smeagol's mind. Moreover, since Mell is also a captive and the other elves distrust her, she seems to be an ideal companion to help him escape.
Oh, so I was right. Smeagol really does see Mel as a true friend.
How nice. And that's
Again,
it.
interesting stuff. Why was this not the story for most of it?
Mel's magic. Mel is one of the elven magicians, a student of Gwendol, the riddle master, who learned from the great elvish masters in Doriath. Mel's way of influencing the reality around her is by enchanting water. In her way, she shows similar powers to Elrond, who, with Gandalf's help, was able to release the power of the Barad-dûn when the Nazgûl tried to cross the ford close to Rivendell. Mel needs to be in contact with a water source, like a river or a pond, and since all waters are united in Tolkien's mythology, she can telepathically talk to a chosen person. Basically when they are near the... Yeah.
Basically, in case you don't know, Jova, the whole thing about the water horses that crash the Nazgûl that Arwen does in the movie, that was a conjunct effort of Elrond and Gandalf in the book. Gandalf himself says that he added the horse's shape just as a flair touch more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Elven King. King Thranduil lost his beautiful wife, the murder of Legolas. We do not know where and when, but it must have greatly grieved him. His private chambers reflect his love for the beautiful things in carven stones, his love for hunting under the stars, but also his sadness and loneliness. After the dragon Smaug was killed by Bard, the bowman, the Elven King also got a share of Smaug's hoard. The emeralds of Girion he loved so much. Thranduil probably does not spend much time in these chambers, maybe only to reflect and think about the past or enjoy his beautiful collection.
If you recall,
Again,
the emeralds or something that actually showed up in a sort of a form in the Hobbit movies.
Again, I love the irony that the wooden elves are assholes here, but are actually the nicer elves in the original
To be fair,
trilogy.
Jova, it's just Legolas, so one. It's not like, it represents his entire people.
Well, granted, I'm going off of the Jackson trilogy, but the whole elf tribe as a whole there was way less dickish than
the people
first
in
one.
the people under Galadriel are different kind of group.
Very specific in that.
After the
regard.
fall of the dragon Smaug, the elves started to rekindle their trade with Dale and Asgaroth and the Long Lake. They set up a small place for trade at the East Gate, close to the river. Banners showed their trading alliances with the dwarves and men down the river. And that's
I really
it.
do recall them. I really recall them not being as much assholes in that regard, but I digress. That being said, again, the way the lore excerpts work in this game is weird. Like, sometimes, yes, they'll actually focus on stuff from the game. Other times, it'll be like weird random tidbits, some of which talk more about the state of things during the time of the original trilogy, which this game is supposed to take place before.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Alright, everybody, tune in next time where we continue exploring Mirkwood.
So yeah.
Yep.
Then.
Ta-ra.